a Thursday morning in the middle of winter. So most people are still thick in the winter. I have flowers blooming everywhere. Very weird, but very gorgeous. All these trees that just, before they leaf out, they bloom out, and they're just like solid, bright pink or bright yellow. It's phenomenal. Anyway, that being said, let's see, announcements. Next Tuesday, I may or may not be here. My sister's and her husband are in town, so maybe be doing something, maybe we won't, so stay tuned. Other than that, not much. Let's get it going. I think it's gonna be, I have some different ideas. We'll just see what comes out today. I don't have a strict focus like I did the last two classes, so there you go. That being said, let's go ahead and get situated. I know a lot of you, us, me, have been doing a lot of things before we get here to our mat. So take that deep cleansing sigh, let everything else go. As we arrive in this moment, right here, right now, this time we've set aside with whatever intention you come with, whether that's to calm the mind, strengthen the body, it does not matter. You come here with what you want to do and you keep that focus alive. If your eyes aren't already closed, gently let them rest. And begin to notice what is. Whether that's body sensation, what's going on in the internal world or the external world. Maybe there's still things you can hear other than my voice. Things you can smell, a lingering taste. And then let's bring our attention to the tip of our nose. And see if we can sense the difference in temperature of our inhale and our exhale. Maybe you feel it on the upper lip. And then as you become aware of that inhale and exhale, let's follow an inhale and see what parts of the body move as we inhale. And you feel it in your shoulders, your collarbones, your ribs. Can you feel it in your belly or even the bottom of your pelvic bowl? This rhythmic, soothing breath. And I'll read you a poem from our book, Go In and In. And this one's called Waiting for Safety. I know I've read it before, but it's a beautiful early springtime poem. Fern, furled, a question mark waving in the wind, holding to the fetal curl and the safety of the winter womb. Nothing, not the gentle kiss of sun or stream voice calling, can coax that frond to unfurl one single moment before it does. A wonderful reminder that we cannot force things to happen in life, no matter how much we think we can or want to or plan. Manipulate events. Life still unfolds exactly as it will. Fern's frond. And from this place of letting life flow, let's take our 3 breaths to start our practice. We inhale and we exhale. 2 more times. Breathing together in community. The last one. And with that next breath, we open our eyes and reach our arms to the sky as we reach up with palms facing each other, and exhale, hands come down. We inhale up. Maybe eyes start gazing up. Exhale, hands down. This one, inhale, fingertips touch, fingers interlace, turn them inside out, and snug those upper arms by the ears and reach them back. And as you do that, again, gaze up. Reach up. One more breath up here. Stretching, reaching, waking up. And let those hands come down. Let's bring our hands to our knees. And we're going to do some cat and cow-like motions here. So we're going to round our back, look down at our heels, and pull the belly in firmly to the spine. And then inhale, look up, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and pull the elbows back. Again, exhale. Empty, empty, empty as much as you can, really feeling the ends of the breath. And inhale, inhale, inhale. So we're purposely elongating, inhale and exhale. Emptying as much breath like that. One more push. And inhale. One more deep cleansing breath like that. And come back to that neutral spine. Let us reach both hands up again. But this time the left hand reaches back and the right hand reaches to the right. Or right hand to the left knee as we look over that shoulder, reaching up through the spine. Our first twist. And not only seeing where your chin wants to go, but also how far your eyes can look to that side. A little eye exercise. Unwind. We reach both hands up and we do the opposite side. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, left hand to right knee. Right hand gently behind us on fingertips. And again, see where your nose and chin want to go, but then see if your eyes can look even further. These twisting motions, we do not want to lose them. Anytime you've probably pulled a muscle or something, you can't look over your shoulder, you realize how useful this skill is, this twisting. One more, and unwind. Inhale, both hands up. And exhale, hands to the earth and roll over your knees. So this won't be a wrist and hand free, but it won't be all wrists and hands like the one a couple classes back was. So coming to all fours, let's undulate the spine. Start by making circles with the belly button one way, low to the side, up and around. Excellent. And then let's bring the attention to our hips, circling around the knees, one way and the other. And you'll notice as you circle around the knees, You also circle around the wrists with your shoulders. And then come to that neutral spine. Let's go ahead and do some strengthening work by reaching right foot back and left hand forward, or just pick one of those. Finding that long line, belly pulls to spine here. I know my shirt's baggy, but belly's pulling up. Eyes can gaze forward or look at the mat in front of your hand. Holding in stillness. Set that side down and switch sides, left foot back, right hand forward. Again, belly to spine. Stretching through heel and fingertips. And I say relative stillness because you might feel some quivering, some wiggling as the little muscles hold us in this position. Little and big muscles. One more breath. And set that side down. Maybe a little wagging of the tail or wiggling here. We're going to reach the right foot back again, but this time we're going to bring the right knee towards shoulder and kick it back. And so there's this crunching of the side muscles. I did want to have a gentle focus on core strength. So see, maybe you do 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 of these. And next time, your knees over here to the side, let's tap it down without it touching. So it's hovering and up, just shifting the focus. That head, those hips, building a little strength there. One more, and set it down and wiggle, wag the tail. Left leg reaches back. First, we do knee to shoulder, kind of a side squeezing, crunching position. Again, you can always pause or stop. You'll know how many is right for you. And then when you're there, knee stays out to the side and then comes down and back up. And when you're done, this time let's reach our hips back to release those muscles in our buttocks. Child's pose. Forehead reaches for the mat, and we pause. Turning this into a slightly active pose by walking the fingers forward, 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 and bringing the upper arms by the ears. Come up on all 10 fingers, but keep the forehead on the mat or a block. Opening the shoulders. Go ahead and come on up to all fours again. Hands flat on the mat. Fingertips spread. Tuck the toes and we'll come to our first downward dog. Belly to thighs, tailbone up. Head drops between the upper arms. And then come into your downward dog. Reaching heels toward the back, toward the mat. Back into the thighs, toward the back wall. Again, bellies gently pulls towards spine. And then let's from here shift forward to plank. Dropping the hips. And then let's come to forearms. So when your wrists aren't super strong, you can always come to forearms. Although this is actually takes more core strength here on your forearms, it does take the pressure off your wrists. You can lift your wrists and make little circles, you'll notice. From here, go ahead and come up to a downward dog-like pose, reaching those hips up, dropping the head. And we're still on our forearms. See where you might need to walk your feet up a little, maybe not. Definitely open shoulder, and then come back to this modified plank pose. And then let's drop the hips and lift the heart, and you'll find yourself in Sphinx. Crown of the head lifts, tops of the feet press into the mat, legs are engaged. Nice breaths. And then sliding the hands forward, bring the forehead to the mat. Now here, let's go ahead from here and lift right heel and left palm in our head. So it's similar to what we did on all fours. So right heel's up, left thumbs up. The other two press down. And let's set that down, tap the forehead, and then lift left heel, right hand. So the core is the whole way around the body, right? So here we are strengthening the back. Let's do the opposite, right heel, left hand. Left heel, right hand. And this time, if you'd like, well, let's do both heels. No, and keep the hands both down and the forehead down. And then both hands and chest up, and leave the feet down. And then you know what's coming, the option to do all four at once. Palms face each other, thumbs up, heels up. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. And then let those hands and feet come down. This time place your thumbs back by your ribs. And we're going to push through all fours all the way back to child. To release that back. One more breath here to reset. And then let's come through all fours, tuck the toes, and come into a regular downward dog again. This time from downward dog, we'll go to plank, but this time we'll go to chaturanga. Elbows pull in, slowly lower. You can hover and go straight into up dog, or touch the belly and chest or hips down and do cobra. Holding up dog for a minute, not a whole minute, for a breath or two before you go back to down dog. A minute could be possible. From here, we're going to look up and walk, step, or jump to that spot for our first forward fold. Belly to thighs, shake out the head. Let's grab opposite elbows and have the arms frame the head and hang here. Waking up the back body. sink deeper or not. And then drop the hands and inhale, come up, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale all the way up. Fingertips touch, hands to heart, mountain pose. Here we are standing. Let's go ahead and do a sun salutation. It's been a couple days. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Walker, step back to plank and lower down. Inhale, up, dog. Exhale, down dog. We're gonna do that again. Inhale, look up. Exhale, walk, step, or jump to that spot. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Prayer through the center. Inhale, hands up again. And forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands to the mat. Walker, step back. Plank, lower down. Chaturanga. Up dog or cobra, and then down dog. Flowing through one more time, building a little heat on a cold winter day. Inhale, look up. Exhale, walk, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, fingertips touch. Prayer through the center. Hands drop. Hands come back around. Forward fold. Halfway, flat back. Back to plank, lower down, chop, up dog, and down dog, and pause. Nicely done. Let's go ahead and inhale that right foot to the sky. Three-legged dog. Hold it there for a second to make sure your hips are level, heels reaching up. Bring that knee to the nose, and we're going to lower the shin and lift, and lower and lift. 3, 4, and 5. Pick it back to three-legged dog again, and bring it all the way up. Drop the left knee. Release the top of the foot, lower the hips, and lift the heart. Nice stretch. And reach the hips back, lift the right toes, and stretch out over the right leg. Back, forward, but this time leave that left hand and reach the right hand up for a little twist. Eyes can look up at that right thumb. Let's come on up, keep reaching that right hand back for twist it. Low lunge. And cartwheel those hands. Let's bring them to the inside of the right foot. And we'll come back to those forearms if that's in your practice. If not, use a block or stay where you were. Opening that hip. Some of you can place your hand through the space like we were playing with that leg over your shoulder like a backpack strap. We won't do any more with that today, but there's another good place to practice it. Come on back up. Place hands on either side. We will drag that right foot back to all fours and then tuck the toes and come back to downward dog. From here, left foot to the sky, left knee to the nose, hover, and then the shin goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kick it back for three-legged dog, and bring it up between your hands. Drop the right knee, and then release the top of the foot and reach the heart forward. Nice. Open here, shift the hips back, lift the left toe, stretching out over this left leg. Shift the hips forward again, right hand stays where it is, left hand reaches up for the twist, a low lunge twist. And then coming up, stacking chest and head over hips, twist it low lunge. You can look over that left hand or to the side wall. Cartwheel the hands, bring them on the inside of that left foot. Drop the hips again and come to your forearms. Big stretch. One more breath. Come back up. And we will bring the left knee back and meet again in downward dog. Now let's do that whole series again in high lunge, or you can repeat it in low lunge. Right leg up, right knee to the nose, 5 counts up and down, 4, 3, 2, 1, kick it back. Right foot top of the mat. This time we come up for high lunge. Both hands up. Balance it on the back of the ball of the left toes. And then straighten the right leg. Reach the hands forward and bring the chest over the right leg. For pyramid, nice stretch. And then from pyramid, we're going to go to twisted triangle. That left hand can stay on the earth, or that grab to ankle, or even better, have a block there. I'm going to reach right hand up. And then we're going to come on up for another variation with the twist. We did this all low lunge. Feels very different in high lunge, right? And from here with straight legs, then let's bend back into that right leg. You might have to pop that heel back up. And then cartwheel the hands, this time on either side of the foot. We won't go, and then step back. We'll do a chaturanga here. With an up dog and a down dog, and then we'll go to the other side. Left foot to the sky, left knee to the nose. 5 times up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Kick it back. Bring it up. Come on up to high lunge. Hands up, hips lower, heels up. And then we put the right heel down, maybe shorten it. Hands reach forward, flat back. Drop the hands, stretch over this left leg. Deep sighs. From here, reach this left hand up for twisted triangle. And then come on up with straight legs for the twist. And then bend into the left knee and pop up the heel. Oops, for twisted high lunge. cartwheel the hands and step back, lower down. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. From here, let's look up between those hands, walk, step, or jump to that spot. Back to our forward fold. This time, let's slide our fingers under our feet so that your toes are optimally by your wrists. Like if you wiggle your toes, you're kind of massaging up there by your wrists. Can you do that? Cool. Knees will have to be bent for most of us. Then drop your head, and you can experiment here with how much, as usual, you can come into this forward fold. Meaning the back of the legs are reaching back, but it doesn't mean they're going to go straight. You can tug a little bit more. You want that stretch, but not an ow. Nice stretch. Then lift your head, remove your hands, and then let's slowly roll up. So standing. Excellent. Let's see. I think what standing balancing poses we haven't done for a while. Let's do this one. Hands on hips. You get two choices. You can do the one where you're going to grab your knee. So lift your right knee up, take your right hand and put it on your right knee. For some of you, want to take your peace fingers and grab that big toe. And then show me the bottom of your foot. And some of you are going to go ahead and push that heel out and maybe even straighten that leg, keeping the heart lifted. So I don't want you round, I want this, that long straight back. And then if you kick it out, I want like that, right? And that left hand stays on the hip. Then from there, you're going to rotate it out. If you want to put that left hand out, you can, or it can again stay on the hip, and you can look over that left shoulder even if you're feeling like a rock star. And if you wiggle, come out of it like I just did, no big deal. Just go back to whichever variation. So if you're holding on your knee, you've rotated your knee out to the side and finding that nice hip joint mobility. So then you're going to bring it back to the front, release it, but hold that foot out there, hold it out. So if you have it, if the leg was bent, point the toe and reach out, even if it's just hovering here. You want to build that core strength, belly pulse to spine. Keep lifting that toe for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! You should feel a little bit of a burn. And then let's do the other side. You can tell, I can tell I haven't done that in a while because I'm a fair bit wiggly. Hands on hip, left knee up, left hand to left knee. Or you can grab that big toe, show me the bottom of your foot, or kick it out. Finding a focal point helps. Breathing in and out through the nose, then rotating it to the side. Again, you can keep your hand on hip, whoop, or hand out. Kind of helps counterbalance. And if you can, look to the right. That's like the final challenge there. Then rotate it back, release the toes, but keep it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And if you could smile, you get a bonus point there. Well done. Great balancing. Let's do a little warrior 3 action. So hands on hips. And let's bring the right knee up again, like we just did. This time we're going to kick it straight back. Keep your hands on your hips to keep them level, because there's a tendency of popping that right hip up. And if you want airplane arms is great, or you can make the T shape by bringing the hands over the head. Probably more challenging. And then bring the knee back through and step it down. So these take a lot of hip and core strength. Let's do the other side. Hands on hips, left knee up, left foot kicks back, hips stay level, heart and head reach forward and lower, airplane arms, and T shape far. Terrific. Again, focal points do help find stability. And then bring that knee back through and set it down. Well done. Coming back to mountain pose. Finding our breath again. I mentioned yesterday there's so many seated poses, so I think I want to go, or not yesterday, Tuesday, to do a little more of those. So let's go ahead and go there. Let's just come to seated. Come to seated any old way. And then we're going to reach hands out. Actually, let's bring up blocks to either side of us. Because I'm going to add a little something in here. But then come to both legs forward, toes up. Are you with me? And let's start, I'm going to turn this way just so you can see it, with Dandasana, this L-shaped active pose, meaning toes are lifted so much the heels might pop up. The hands press into this mat gently by our hips. The crown of our head is lifting, that belly's pulling towards spine. And we hold here for 10, 9, eyes gaze down at the knees, 8, keep lifting, engage the legs, the belly, 7, 6, 5, everything's doing stuff, 4, 3, don't give up, 2, and 1. Heels down, hands up, and we'll come into a forward fold. Now, go ahead and put a little bend in your knees again, and see where the hands reach. If they can reach all the way as if we were stepping, so bend the knees deeply, and you can bring your hands as if you're stepping on them, meaning you put the wrists on the toes and then drop the palms. You see that? Then you can put your head between your upper arms, and then you can find again how much those legs want to push toward the mat. There's a lot of variations of forward folds. They're all really good. Lift the heart, but keep those wrists where they are. Flat back, and then releasing. Come on up. Let's do the counter pose to that. Place our hands behind us. You can do one of two things. You can do reverse plank or a reverse tabletop. So I'm going to do reverse plank. Point your toes, lift your hips, and press all 10 toes into the mat as you lift, balancing on your arms. That's too much. Remember, you could do it here on your elbows if your wrists don't like it. Our reverse table looks like this. So pick one and hold it. And then set your hips down. Excellent. Turning back this way. Let's go ahead and bring the right knee up. Turn the right knee out for our tree-like pose, pressing the sole of the foot into the leg. And then we turn our chest over this left leg, toes up, and we slide our hands down. Again, see how far it feels right for you to stretch and then hold. Slide the hands back up. We're going to do the next pose. There's 3 of these poses. Actually, so many of these poses. The next one, you lift your hips and you put that heel of your foot. You're going to sit on your foot. So the toes are pointing down the thigh. The heel of the foot is kind of in your, yeah, right there. And then you're going to forward fold again. One more breath. Come on back up. And we might as well show you the third one. Slide back off your heel. Now lift this foot. Slide your right hand under the heel. Oh no, place your left hand under the heel, and the right hand kind of helps put the toes down so that all the 10 toes are splayed, and this heel is pushing into that thigh, the knee goes out. So some people call this Barbie foot. And then you forward fold over it. It's a big hip stretch and toe stretch, and it can feel like your toes want to break off. It's probably why I almost never have done this with you all. And then come back up. We won't hold that one too long. While we're here, let's go ahead and, if you want to do half lotus, meaning you bring that foot all the way up into the crease and point the knee forward. And sometimes we bind it by bringing the right hand around and grabbing that big toe, or sliding, so you can do it that way, or slide both hands down the leg. So you can start to see how you could hold all of these for like a minute. You could easily turn a class into a whole bunch of seated poses of these. And come on back up, and we might as well do another one. Point that knee up, but this time slide that foot back by the hip, like this. And then we're going to go forward. So for me on that one, it used to be I would just like want to roll over to my left side. So you might I used to have to use my hands as what I would say kickstands here on either side so I wouldn't tip. Now I can grab the foot, but it's a process. Come on back up. Okay, we can keep going. Usually go back and forth one side then the other. Bend that knee, stretch it out, give it a wiggle. Now we bring the left knee up. And we'll start with regular tree pose. Place that heel as high on the thigh as you can. Press the foot into the thigh. Turn the chest along this right leg. Slide the hands down. And forward fold. And come on back up. We lift our hips and we sit on that foot, placing that heel where it naturally wants to fit, and then forward fold again. Barbie toe one where we turn these toes down, pull the heel up, and then press the heel into the thigh. Knee points out, right toes up. Again, forward fold over the right leg. If it's putting too much pressure on your knee, don't do it. Obviously, anytime it's like hurts or it's wrong, don't do it. Do one of the other poses again. Come back up if you want, half lotus. That foot tucks in the crease. The knee comes forward. Forward fold. You can bind it if you want. So what I thought was going to be core strength turned out to be a lot of hip opening. You never know where it's going. Come on back up. Bring that knee up and then bring this left foot to the outside of the left hip. Adjust your sits bones. Forward fold. Another time down this right leg. Using those kickstands if you need to. And then come on back up, and then thank that knee. Thank you, knee. And let's straighten them both up, back up. Let's want to do one more regular forward fold. Let's do the one where we slide the hands down the outside and either grab the shins, ankles, outer feet, or maybe you can interlace those fingers. And come into your forward fold again. And recentering both sides. And come on back up. More I wanted to do. We did this the other day where you grab your big toes, so bend both knees, grab the toes, and we're gonna make that V shape and lift our heart. So it's a balancing. But then I'm gonna give an option for you to roll back and let the feet come over your head while you still hold on to those toes. So that might be a lot. And then you can always, some people can go back. Obviously, I can't and go back to here, balancing. So if you just roll around, that's fine. It was an experiment. And set the heels down. So you kind of have to have the handle of shoulder stand to bring your legs over the head. So if you can do it, fine. If not, know that it's a very advanced pose. I think we're running out of time. So let's go ahead and come to our backs. Let's stretch our hands over our head and put our legs up the wall. The imaginary wall. Heels reach up, toes back. We're here in that L shape again. See if you can hook your thumbs together there to make butterfly hands. It also snugs those arms up by the ears. If that's too much, obviously don't. Release the butterfly hands and come into cactus arms and bend the knees. Make some hip circles. better. We do this every single time. I don't think there's a class that I skip this part because it feels so good. And let's go ahead and bring the heels by the hips. We'll do something a little bit different. So we're gonna bring the hands down here by the heels, palms face the earth. We're gonna tuck the tails and roll up. Then we're gonna walk our shoulder blades together and interlace our fingers if possible. If not, just keep your hands flat on the floor, your choice. But then we're gonna lift that right foot and point it straight out. And then lift it straight up and out and up and out 3 times if you can, and set it down. You can drop your hips and reset before we go to the other side. Lift the hips again, interlace the fingers or press the palms into the mat. And then we're going to point that left toe out, up, and out, and up, and out, and up, and out, and down. Set it down. And now we're going to do one more. I was listening to something on pelvic floor exercises. I haven't even tried this, but we're going to try it together. You lift your hips again. Again, you pick the arm position. And then you're going to, as if your pubic bone has a pen on it, you're going to write your name in cursive. Or square letters, but it's smoother in cursive. And if you can do first and last name, go for it. And set it down. So what that's doing is using awareness in that pose and making kind of gentle movements with our hips and using those smaller muscles in the hip girdle and the pelvic floor. Seemed to work pretty well. Let's see. We might as well do a shoulder stand. So for those who don't want to do shoulder stand, go ahead and put a block under your hips, long legs, and do legs up the wall here, like so, with the support of a block. For those who want to do shoulder stand, you're going to bring your knees up toward your chest, and then bring your hands to your lower back, walk your elbows in, and then stretch out and reach toes up so they stack over knees, over hips, over belly button, over shoulders. Push into the back of your head so you slightly lift your nose and chin, gazing up at your toes. And then we'll go ahead and do plow, letting the feet come over. You can keep your hands supporting, or you can interlace them. And then you can do knees to the ears, bending the knees. And when you're ready, rolling out of that shoulder stand. When you come back down here, rock your hips side to side. I told you to use those blocks and I didn't do it, but that's okay. I changed it. Let's go ahead and do a twist on each side, and then happy baby before we finish. So right, knees go to the right, eyes go to the left, arms can spread wide. If you choose a different variation of a twist, that's great. But once you get to the twist of your choice, come back to a few deep sighs. And even let your eyes close. switch to the other side. Eyes gaze to the right, knees to the left. And again, then you can let your eyes close. One last breath there, back to the center. Let's do that happy baby. Or some variation. And then let's bring knees together, shins together, ankles together, wrap your arms around those shins, bring your nose up toward your knees, and give yourself that hug. You did it. Another hour of yoga under your belt. Big squeeze. Tight. Curl your toes, scrunch your face. Tighter. And then come all the way into Shavasana, where we completely unfurl our bodies and deeply relax. Swing arms and legs off the mat if that feels right, using blankets, pillows, and all the things to come into a very relaxed Shavasana. Letting everything else go. I'm going to read our poem again. And then I'll let you deeply relax as I wind the time. Waiting for safety. Fern furled a question mark, waving in the wind, holding to the fetal curl and safety of the winter womb. Nothing, not the gentle kiss of sun, nor stream voice calling, can coax that frond to unfurl one single moment before it does. From this place, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly as you begin to feel the rise and fall. The breath, moving body. Stretch your hands over your head. Give that spine a wiggle. Roll to your right side, resting your head on your upper arms and bringing your knees toward your chest. Pausing on our side here for gratitude, thankfulness, gratefulness. And then pushing yourself up to that seated position. We'll end like we started with those 3 breaths. This time though, on the exhale, I invite you to make some sound. We inhale through the nose and exhale with an audible sound. And ooh and oh and om are amen or om, whatever. We inhale. One more breath. That spirit in me honors that in every single one of you. I appreciate you showing up for your practice, for spreading loving kindness in the world, and just being a good human. Thank you, and namaste.